Alabama, Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Can Auburn make a bowl game? Can Alabama make the playoffs once again? Let's talk about it. So, the Crimson Tide come into this game as 73.5% favorites through ESPN's analytical matchup prediction. Auburn, again, very heavy underdog statistically. Spread, not so much. This spread opened at 3.5, climbed up to 6.5, and have settled at 5.5 for the Tide. So, Alabama 9-2, 6-1 in the SEC coming into this game. A win, you are guaranteed to the SEC championship and to the playoff. Auburn 5-6, 1-6 in the SEC. Their only SEC win came against Arkansas, and they need a win in this game to make a bowl game. Obviously, Hugh Freeze already been fired, I think, right? He's been fired. Yeah, they fired that man. So there's not as much in this game as for maybe some other rivalries like maybe Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, some other teams. But again, Bama needs to win this game to make the playoff. This game is going to be, I think, maybe not the first time ever, but it seems like what I've heard, at least in a long time, this is the first time this is a night game. Usually this game starts at 3:30, and since it's late in the year, the second half is in total darkness. This is going to start in the dark. And this is also this is good for this rivalry. This is a standalone game. Usually with it being 3:30, this game is there's other games happening with it, and there's other games after it and before. No. A lot of the good rivalry games have been pushed to Friday, which I don't think they did that well. I feel like they put too many good games like Texas A&M on Friday, and then on Saturday there's only the Iron Bowl. And let's say Bama blows out Auburn like they always do, or sometimes do. Let's say this isn't a good game. There's not really nothing else to watch. Like there's not really. There's Notre Dame Stanford at night, but no one wants to watch that. But so yeah, let's talk about some of the matchups coming into this game. So Ty Simpson, the starting quarterback for the Crimson Tide, 237 at 354. I think that's like a 63% completion rate. 2 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. This was, his statistic was crazy a couple weeks ago. It was 21-0. He throws, I think, an interception or 2 against Oklahoma, and then, I think it was only 1. And then he throws 2 interceptions and no touchdowns against, I think it was Eastern Illinois. Yes. Which, obviously, it's not like, well, Ty Simpson's bad. He threw 2 interceptions versus Eastern Illinois and none in SEC, or only 1 or 2 in SEC play. No. That's stupid. But, again, just not a good performance. Maybe, obviously, his Heisman campaign has slowed down. He probably won't be in New York, which is fine. And if I were him, I would come back for another year. Same with some, Dante Moore and Fernando Mendoza maybe have played themselves to go to the draft. But even if for them, especially Dante, I would like if they stayed another year. I think maybe Fernando's a senior maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, Ty Simpson, I think 100% should come back for another year. And, yeah, so he's been good. Jam Miller, the running back, very disappointing. Only rushing around 4 yards per carry. Only has 3 touchdowns. Bama's run game has been terrible. They're not able to run the ball at all. They've really struggled with this. And it's why Ty Simpson has almost had to become Superman and put the team on his back every single week. He is not really getting any help from his running game, which is why they lost to Oklahoma. That was a bad matchup for them. That defensive line completely neutralized Alabama's running game, which allowed Ty Simpson to have to throw every time, which led to a pick 6, having to throw on 3rd and 4th down every single time, which allowed them to kind of lay back into coverage and zone and cloud and kind of confused the picture for Ty Simpson, which led to incompletions and interceptions, which is why they lost that game. That is not at all what they'll be facing versus Auburn. Yes, it is a rivalry game on the road at night. Jordan Hare, obviously, black magic, voodoo magic. We know. We all know what this game is, what this game means. But this is a good matchup for Alabama and almost everywhere. Auburn's offense and defense is terrible. If you look at their past 5 games, you allowed 17 to Mercer. You should be allowing 0. You allowed 45 to Vanderbilt. You only put up 3 on Kentucky. You allowed 24 to Arkansas, and you only put up 17 against Missouri. And you lost all those games except for Arkansas and Mercer. So, you bring in the offseason for Auburn, you bring in Jackson Arnold from Oklahoma, and we all knew it was going to be a disaster because he was a disaster at Oklahoma. He turns out to be a disaster. Then you eventually start Deuce Knight for a game. Did he start for Mercer? He started for a game. Yeah, against Mercer. And he played okay. He played well. Did he start against Vanderbilt? No, Ashton Daniels. So I think Ashton Daniels is going to be starting against this game. I don't know. I felt like Deuce Knight was pretty good. It is Mercer, but he didn't throw interception. I mean, I don't know. He's the 5-star freshman. So maybe you'll see more of him next year. But yeah, running game for Auburn, they're better at running the ball than Bama. But again, yeah, good matchup for Bama. They kind of outrun everywhere. And if you're able to stop this run game for Auburn, which you will, you're going to force them to throw, not make them play clean, get to the quarterback. And I think that's how you disrupt this game. That's how I think you make it a 2-possession game going into half. And I think that's how you pulled away in the second half. So let me see if there's any other stats for these games. So for Bama, this is super interesting. And if you've not really paid attention to Alabama, which, I mean, some have, some haven't. Ryan Williams, where have you been? I mean, like, sounds like he got lost in the edit. There were so many edits made about this guy. He was on the cover, all the hype. And then he's really just not had the year he's wanted. You know, maybe it's an injury. Usually when you talk about players stepping up or regressing, you have to give it 2 years. He only is a true sophomore. You know, he's only 18 years old. I know they love to talk about his age. But yeah, he has really taken a back seat to Jeremy Bernard, who has really stepped up as wide receiver 1. Both have similar receptions, with Ryan Williams only at 40, Jeremy Bernard having 48. Jeremy Bernard has around 100 more yards more than Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams has just struggled with drops. He's only had 4 touchdowns. Bernard has had 6. Isaiah Horton has stepped up as that wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3. So, I mean, I know they trust Ryan Williams. It has just been, I don't know, maybe it's a distraction thing. There seem to be a lot of distractions in the offseason. He's a kid. I mean, he's just a kid. So give it another year if you want to hop off the Ryan Williams train. Also, I think the fact that he was being compared to Jeremiah Smith early in his career, and it seemed to be very even, and then Jeremiah Smith just took off. And I just stopped making the comparison to Jeremiah Smith. That man is one of one. He's the best college receiver I think we've probably maybe seen ever, or since Randy Moss. He might be one of the best to ever do it in that top. He's going to be in the conversations with it's going to be Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown, Larry Fitzgerald, and Jeremiah Smith. I mean, Justin Jefferson. I mean, he's going to be in the all-time greats conversation, hopefully. I really hope he does, and I hope he gets with a decent quarterback. You look at Marvin Harrison Jr. and how that he's really struggling with that. But I'm getting sidetracked. I'm talking about Ohio State. I'm sorry. You didn't watch here to talk about Ohio State. Alabama. Yeah. So Ryan Williams, maybe you could see a step-up game. Let me see. Has he been productive at all recently? Where is Ryan Williams? There you are. Let's look at his past couple of games. So, against Eastern Illinois, got 1 catch for 25 yards. They pulled him instantly. OU, 3 for 45, 3 for 33 against LSU and a touchdown, 7 for 72 against South Carolina, and 5 for 87. Again, just not really. And we kind of saw, even back at the Florida State game, the first game of the year for the Tide, it looked different. It looked different. Talking about Auburn, Cam Coleman has really been how do I say this? A shine and a lot of rust. I'll say that. He is the only good thing about this team. He currently has 682 receiving yards, 5 touchdowns, 52 receptions, 13.1 receiving yards per reception on average. He's only a true sophomore. Remember, he had that incredible freshman year last year with the likes of Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams. His catch radius is insane. His acrobatic catches are crazy. Kind of reminds me of Keon Coleman, the Florida State guy, not the Bills, but I think he's probably going to be better than Keon Coleman. But, I mean, okay, now we got to get to the matchup of the game. I don't like this for Auburn at all. I get the 5.5 point spread. It's going to be on the road. I thought about picking Auburn in the preseason just because, it's like, it's fun. I'm going to pick Auburn to beat Alabama in the preseason, but I can't do it. The over-under is 46.5. That means, what are they predicting? So 46 minus 5 divided by 2, 20. So they're predicting like 26-20. I don't think Auburn's putting up 20 on Alabama. Auburn's offense was better last. Well, who was their quarterback? It was oh my God, what was his name? Oh my God, he was absolutely garbage. What was Auburn's quarterback last year? What was his name? Oh my God, I can't remember. 2024 Auburn quarterback. Peyton Thorne. Oh my God, Peyton Thorne. Well, he's not going to be playing this game. So maybe they'll put up more than 14 and not allow more than 30 billion. But yeah, I'm going to go for the Tide. I'm going to say something like Alabama 28, Auburn 6. I think the Tide crush Auburn. I'll say it'll be a 14-6 game at half. Auburn will probably get the ball in the second half and be like, well, they could tie this one up. And then they throw in interceptions and it's 21-6 going into the fourth. And then it's 28-6 and it's, oh my God. So I'll say Alabama 28-6. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. We're going to having a video coming out later today. And it's going to be a matchup of all the videos you've seen the past couple days, plus the other games we haven't covered. So stay tuned for that. I will see you guys all later. Remember, hit the subscribe button. We're so close to 50 subscribers. We are 5 away. Make sure you become part of the community and be one of the ones that gets us there. We'll try to get it before the Big Ten Championship week. That would be awesome. Remember, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win this game? How do you think this game is going to go? As always, thank you.